Fuck what the heart brings. Fuck what the heart brings. We gon' start life for less of what you done to me.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Randumb Snax. Today we're going to be talking about character development, but I'm pretty sure we're probably going to be branching off a lot.
You didn't introduce the white snacks.
Vanilla covered cookies.
Yeah, the first thing
white chocolate?
That's like, I'm gross. First thing popped in my head was, cum? White
Why is that?
It sounds like it's gonna be that kind of podcast.
So if you guys want to introduce yourself, you can, but they've been on the show before.
Yeah.
I'm Phil. I'm Andrew.
It shouldn't be too much talking over each other because there's literally only, 5 of us today? So, let's see what we got.
Editor says, thank God.
It's okay. I'll keep trying to talk over everybody.
I hate you so much.
I'll probably say something to get people mad or whatever.
Joe Rogan uses uses 2 mics, and then he has some kind of.
Oh yeah, the
roll,
millionaire
like
has multiple mics.
We don't have Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
It's like when you talk, you can hear the other guy talking. He also has headphones.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
A lot of people do
All right.
Beats headphones and all that stuff too.
Right.
So-
Okay. Cool. So now everybody knows
There's a
we're
bunch
doing
of
this in
stuff.
our dining room with one microphone.
One mic.
Sorry, guys.
Holding it
Appreciate
up over
We
everything.
broke. Thanks,
If
Andrew.
you didn't know,
We need to start a Patreon or an OnlyFans, one or the other.
I
Just donate.
really
Just
actually
send
want to make an
money.
OnlyFans, guys.
If you want to.
You're about to send your OnlyFans?
Yeah. Oh heck yeah! I want to do. I'll do that for everybody. Just send it out.
Hey, but whatever you want to
OnlyFans is
do.
only feet.
You're like, by the way, check out this
Feet and
podcast.
hands. That's all I got.
Black feet, white feet, duck feet, all feet. You almost put it up on the table.
I did.
So, character development.
Yeah.
So my question was, are we just talking about this in general, anime, any movies, or?
Let's do all.
Yeah, anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Is that too broad, though?
Well,
Not
you
really.
know,
Oh, sorry. I spoke
so-
out of line there.
So the main reason we wanted to do the topic and everything was, one, for Phil, he's getting his story and everything done.
Aw,
Congratulations.
Thank you.
He's cheating on our
Congrats,
podcast with another podcast, but
It's fine.
Hell yeah, dude.
With Phil money, we'll get 2 mics.
There we go.
you hear that, Phil? We've already made plans.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Better,
now.
you better be successful.
Wait, Phil, don't go.
But no, we were talking about movies and what makes them good, what makes them bad, and things like that. And then one of the biggest topics that came up was character development. However your character ends, it's perfect because you're actually wearing an Attack on Titan shirt.
Oh, yeah. We're going to talk about Attack on Titan? I haven't seen that in a long
No,
time.
well, just the way that they do Eren from the beginning to the end. They do a lot of circular storytelling where he starts off like, oh, I'm going to kill all the Titans. I'm going to kill all the Titans. Then he becomes not on your team, and you realize how terrifying that sentence is when he's like, I'm going to kill all the humans.
Dude,
But this
you're right. He is.
development.
You're right. I haven't seen the end, but yeah, there's a part where he changes. You can tell. It's almost like his parasite of whatever is making him probably in his blood now from changing so many times.
Right.
I mean, they're not telling you that, but of course, I'm sure it is. Anyway,
It's kind of crazy because I really didn't like his character when he first came out. Oh, we're talking about Eren. Just because, he was really, whiny. He was just, and don't get me wrong, his mom died, in front of him. So I was like, okay,
whiny.
fine, sure, whatever. But at the same time, it was he's just complaining about it. He wasn't really about that action kind of thing. And then he just slowly, transitions into the guy who is going to get it done. So, yeah, they did a good job with him, I think.
It's good character development and seeing how he changes throughout the story.
Yep.
Giants.
so you're. Oh yeah, Giants. The
Are you talking about the Titans?
Yeah.
Titans.
Oh, I was like, wait,
Because
what?
I haven't watched it, so Giants.
Dude, I'll watch it with you. I gotta rewatch that whole show. From
It's
the
good.
beginning.
It's really streaky. It starts really good. It's amazing, and then it gets really boring, and then it gets good again.
When's it
and
get
then
boring?
you get
Well,
confused.
so here's the problem, though. It gets boring because they're developing their characters.
Yeah.
The whole first season is absolutely fantastic. You watch the first season of Attack on Titan, you're going to get hooked.
Yeah.
Even the second season is, okay, but you can see them, diverging into the story part of it. And then the third season is
Is that the
oh my
government
gosh,
one?
huh?
The political one?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's
That's
the
a
problem.
better
It's
one.
like it's all politics, like the whole thing. Like you don't really see the Titans at all. The titular
It's
title
just, you don't
characters.
see any of the stuff
Yeah.
that you want to see because it's like you want to see Levi, you want to know what's in the basement, you want
Exactly.
all this
Mhm.
stuff, and they're just like, nope, here's this random queen lady. We're gonna tell you about her, and it's just like, what?
It's like okay,
But then in the later seasons and stuff, it becomes important again. And I was like, oh, I don't remember. I fell asleep.
right? Have to rewatch that whole saga.
And I know Philip wanted to talk about Dune.
Mhm.
And
Such a
one of the
bad
reasons why
movie.
I did not like Dune is because all the characters were so boring in the movie.
Really?
Yes.
Absolutely.
The new one, right?
Yeah, the new movie that came out.
I mean, there's only one dude.
Well,
Oh
no,
no!
there's
Oh,
not. There's-
you're right. You're my
That's
bad.
the whole big thing. Like
By
everybody
the way,
who
you should watch it. It's
No, we've
bad.
seen the first one. You're talking about the old ones?
The original.
Yeah, I've seen the
84.
original ones a long time ago.
Yeah.
I do remember liking that, but I did not like this new one that came out. Like, it was so bad.
Didn't want it to end.
didn't want to do.
It,
And that was
it went
that
on
was
for too long.
like
So it wasn't for me. I got through 30 minutes of it and I was like, fuck it, I'm out. I couldn't get into it like at all. I didn't pick up with it or whatever. And I tried again.
Why exactly do you guys didn't like it? Like, you know exactly
It
why?
just didn't pull me in. Like if it doesn't pull me in, it was too slow. Like there's slow and then there's too slow for me. So if it's too slow for me, I won't even try.
I felt like that when they took away that whole, they're like talking by being quiet. It almost took away
Oh, the
that kind
voice.
of passion, not passion, but like the base of how everything works. Like, okay, this is how they're going to discuss things.
And not only that, so when we saw it, we didn't see it in the movie theater. We saw it at home.
Oh, I saw it in IMAX.
Sure, fine, whatever. But the problem is, especially watching it at home, maybe slightly different in the movie theater,
Yeah.
we could not hear it. We were constantly turning it, like, the volume all the way up, and then whenever something would happen, like actual action scenes would happen, we have to turn it all the way back
I
down.
hate that.
And then you couldn't hear them, so you had to turn it back up. Like, that was terrible. Like, so whoever sound editor was awful on that whole thing. But honestly, like, I feel like with Dune, the concepts in it are really good because it actually, I mean, it sparked the whole, like, Star Wars. It sparked the
Yeah.
whole, like, you know, fantasy genre or whatever. But, like, they don't do anything with any of it. Like, it's just, nothing happens. And I'm never a fan of a movie that is purposely made for this is part one and you have to wait till part two to see how it resolves. I absolutely hate that in movies when they do it every single time.
Yeah, they did that at the end of Lord of the Rings. So
Yeah.
technically
Yep.
it was 4 trilogies.
Yep.
Not technically 3. I was wrong.
Generally,
I lost that one.
no,
There's
they
a different argument.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
How
they
you
had.
argue it.
that's funny.
That was earlier this
Um,
night argument.
But yeah, as for Dune, again, they had a lot of good concept, like the armor and stuff like that they were using. I was like, that was kind of interesting.
Never
I
came
could
to
see
play
a
though.
lot of different reasons of why that wouldn't work. Like if it comes in faster, it'll repulse better.
So
Things
it's
like
like
that.
slow.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's a
I
really-
gently picked him up and then gently
Yeah, right.
stole the key from his pocket.
Well, it's
But-
cool too because it gives that whole gun scene argument like a reason to be better. Because it's like, oh, you need to hold them at bay, so you're shooting them, even though it's not going to kill them, it's just going to slow them down, and you go in for that, for that kill. But that's not what they did.
Yeah.
Like again, me talking about it is more interesting than what we saw in the movie, and that's the sad part.
And then the girl character, Mary Jane. I can't remember her name.
Zendaya.
Zendaya.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
super
Mary Jane.
disappointed in that one too because they used her so much in the advertising and everything. So I was like, all right, let's see what this is about. And she literally just looked over her shoulder like 4 times.
Yeah.
I was like, that was stupid.
Again, she's probably going to be a real pivotal part in part 2. But the problem is, your movie that I was like, oh, I went there to see Zendaya or whatever. She's not even in the movie.
Like, yeah, last
Like,
5
why
minutes.
would you? Yeah, why would you do that? That's false advertising to the extreme. Like for real.
So we just talk about advertising, and that's what they'll do. Is like, oh, well, if you like Zendaya, well, she's in this. So if you liked her in, I don't know what that show is, and where she's like a high schooler.
Spider-Man.
Or Spider-Man, but
Yeah,
yeah.
that's why I said
Mary
Mary
Jane.
Jane.
Mary Jane.
Mary Jane, and
You're
like
thinking of Euphoria.
Euphoria, thank you. And if you loved her in that, well, then she's in this, so you're a fan, come and see it. And yeah, she's only for like 5 minutes.
Again, but that's a bait and switch.
It is,
and
yeah.
There's no way I'm gonna watch number 2 if you bait and switch
I
me.
mean, that's kind of what they did with Thor when they showed the Guardians, and they're literally in it for what 10 minutes, if
Yeah.
that long.
That's the problem. Like,
the only problem with that is that I wasn't going to see that anyway.
yeah, it's true. They'll do that. They'll be like,
I
oh,
thought it would have been better
they're
if they did keep them, but
Thematically, story-wise.
from what I understand, I never read the book. I've talked to people who read Dune. It is so much world building, and like I guess there's pages just describing like how the spice guild works, how the kingdoms work, how the houses work, and how this all goes. So they're in order to make the faithful adaptation, they had to split it into 2 parts because if they try to cram it into one, you'll get like a 5-hour, 6-hour movie or a 4-hour. You're gonna lose a lot of parts. So,
but that's
I mean,
it's,
I
it's
know
a lot of description, and again, because we're going through the whole rewriting process, it's like if you're rewriting from book to a movie, then you take out all the extra description because your audience is going to be able to see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
visual show, not tell.
Yeah, and then basic rule of storytelling, and then your characters have to drive it, which is like the whole point of that. It's like, oh, this guy is interesting. He's trying to be a king, and he's trying to figure out how to rule. So you have to lean into that. But they're like, no. Let's talk about spice. It's like, oh my god, I don't care about it. I don't care about drugs.
midichlorians.
Yeah. That's not where you're. It's not where you're supposed to go with your storytelling.
So from what I understand, talking about character development, Paul Atreides, he's kind of like a forefront to like, Harry Potter, Peter Parker, Luke Skywalker, where, the hero's journey where, he's a sheltered prince and he's like going to take this over this kingdom, and then like, his father gets killed. His kingdom is destroyed. So it's kind of like he has to grow from a sheltered, guy who's like, but only fighting in like, dojo training style, to he has to like actually fight. Like he had to fight and kill that guy at the end. So he had to grow from, being a prince to, like, leading a revolution, leading a friend
but
to
there's
take over.
so many more interesting ways to do that.
I mean,
like,
that's the book. From what I understand, again...
Journey to the West version?
You're right? Like...
From what I've heard and from what the filmmakers have been saying, like this, like that was like the appetizer. It's supposed to be entree where like everything happens. Like, he's going to lead the revolution. He's going to take back the planet, and he's going to take back his kingdom. So like this is supposed to be like the epic, war action.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. Like,
So that
I
was
hear
the
that.
beginning of his character development, but they didn't get to anything interesting.
Not yet until the end.
Yeah.
Until he had that fight.
There was that
Well,
scene
that's
when he got
stupid.
his like hands put in that little
the book,
yeah.
the tests.
So him, in a way, was kind of forced into that role, right?
His mother wants him to be like the chosen one. Again, going back to mythology, character development. The whole idea, like, it's like Jesus' story. Like, there's this one. I mean, it is. It's like the story of like, this one person who's born, who's gonna like be our savior and lead us to like, better. Redemption. He's going to redeem us, and they have to go through all these trials to get to that point. They can't just be like, I'm all powerful. It's like, I have to be tested. I have to be, face trials.
See him work up to that point.
Yeah,
Aaron.
You could,
I mean,
sure,
kinda.
Well, that's why a lot of people like villains who turn good and stuff like that, because you actually see their backstory, you see why they were like that, and then when it resolves, they actually become a better character. And it's like, villains are easily better than all heroes.
It's true,
Right?
By far.
They have a better story, and their stories are just funner to listen about. Like Ganondorf, he's always trying to get Zelda. And Link's always getting in the way.
That
but
took
it's
me a
always the
second.
same
Ganondorf.
story. It's always the same story. He's just chasing after the chick. And Link is like ending up being the bodyguard
Is
every
he
single
that?
time. Doesn't get anything. I mean, you never know.
Pretty sure he's chasing after the Triforce. Zelda just so happens to have that. Isn't that how that
it's
goes?
about the chick.
I mean,
when you really play the game, it's just
something,
Triforce.
ultimate power, something.
Gotta see
You see Ganondorf doing the Zelda.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Or anybody played Breath of the Wild?
The Breath of the Wild?
Yeah.
I haven't played the new one, though.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild is like, you don't need Zelda anymore. They should, at this point, start calling the games Link.
Yeah, Link isn't the moneymaker.
Zelda is like,
I mean, he is. He's still playing him
I was
every
gonna say,
time.
40% of people think Link is Zelda.
Yeah, that's true.
Zelda is a reason why Link is good, because Link needs a reason to fight
I
Ganon.
mean, remember when they tried to give her a bigger part with the whole sheep thing, and then they were like, "Yeah, back to the
Back it up.
That
Back it
didn't
up.
really work.
I was reading like what Nintendo property should be next, and they're like, yeah, Link was one of them.
Yeah.
and they're like talking like, oh, what if like we had Kirby or Metroid, and then it leads up to like Super Smash Brothers.
No, I mean, but
that would be a cool mashup.
If they don't do
Nintendo.
Link, I mean, Star Fox could be an easy
Star
one.
Fox, yeah.
That could be an easy one to do. Because even I like the game. I know a lot of people didn't grasp to it, but remember the GameCube version when you can actually go on the
Oh,
place?
I was like, what are you talking about? Star Fox was one of their best sellers.
I like the one
back
when you-
in Super Nintendo.
Well, no, I mean like when they made it to where it
Yeah.
wasn't like that when you go to the planet to planet.
Mm-hmm.
I
He's
like
fighting the
that one.
dinosaurs. You had
Yeah.
to figure out the language and all that stuff. Yeah, it was great. Star Fox would be an easy one. However,
Or Pikmin. Pikmin could be an easy one too.
really, you want to go?
No,
Yeah, because
no,
I mean,
no,
all the
no.
Pikmin are basically ants. If you think about it, they band together.
Oh, they already did ants. We're
what-
good.
All those movies made money.
No way.
No, I think I would be more excited for Zelda
That'd be more
or
sense.
Metroid.
Yeah.
Metroid.
Metro would be a good one.
So
Yeah,
both of
those-
those would be good, and again, because especially Metroid. Well, I guess both of them because they don't talk in their games, like not really.
Yeah.
Link does kind of a little bit, but people mostly talk for him. But at the same time, again, through their actions of their characters, that's where you get all the story from. I would love to see a Metroid game or a movie where like she's in her suit the whole time, and then she's basically like trying to save Metroid, the titular character. That would be really awesome to see. I don't think Hollywood has it in them to do that. I think as soon as we saw Halo or the Cowboy Bebop,
my God,
it's
yeah.
like
Oh,
as
God.
soon as that happens, they're gonna like show her in her suit, and then new female actress, whatever, take off helmet, and then she's gonna mess it all up.
Feminism!
Mess it up by talking.
Very
That
soon.
sounds worse than what I wanted to sound like, but yes, you're gonna mess it up by talking with Zelda
But
Samus.
I think you're on to something here. I think they should be making a movie about Samus because
Yeah.
my friend's really into Samus and I like Samus and I
Mhm.
feel like the Samus game is
Oh,
still pretty
she
Yeah,
good.
has
but they were-
great games.
but
But I
Metroid
feel like
game,
they
I
would
should say.
take from it, like, it would be more woman empowerment.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's-
instead of
These
it
days.
being what we know it to be.
Because
They're
remember,
like,
the
it could be
whole
about
big thing
killing
about her
aliens, or-
first game, whatever it was, the whole big thing with her is that they didn't even know it was a girl until the very end of the game where her armor drops off. It's like, oh shit.
Who would you see as an actress? Who would you expect to be
I
in that?
had
That's tough.
no idea.
Uh,
Again, it's the armor. It's
Blonde
not
hair,
the
right?
actress.
It's blonde hair girl.
Yeah,
blonde
sure.
hair girl.
But it could be anyone, I guess. It could be black hair girl.
It could be. It could literally
I mean,
be.
I would like to see
Johansson.
the girl from the boys do it. The ones,
Starlight.
Starlight.
yeah. I
Oh,
can
I
see
don't
Oh,
know.
that.
that'd be cool.
Yeah, but again,
Because you would only have to be seen like every.
yeah,
every
you literally
song.
have to see her in her visor. Everything else has to be her actions of what she's doing.
It'd be like the Tony Stark complex.
Yeah.
Like when he's in the suit. Because the only time they show him.
How
is, like, the
they
head-
show the face
Yeah.
with the,
Okay.
the
Yeah.
visual-
Oh, yeah.
That would be
so you
good.
see him talking while inside
Yeah.
the face and stuff. That's pretty
It's always
good.
funny. They make this helmet look bigger than what it is when you see his face. It's like right here, but like
Yeah,
it's like-
but it's like
Yeah.
zoomed out, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh shit, there's no way he can
It's
see
a-
that far out. Yeah,
cinematic choices that can't make it all the sides of his people. That would be pointless.
yeah.
And
The
crazy to
audience
see, yeah.
can't see it. Yeah,
But no,
whatever, man. I would love to see a Samus one, but I also used to think that I would love to see a Cowboy Bebop remade. And
yeah,
I
how
was
that would
awful.
go.
That was terrible.
Is that why we started talking about characters?
I'm pretty sure it was that. Well, again, that and Halo, those two like ruined those characters hardcore.
No,
they
it was
raped
pretty
Master
bad when
Chief.
And
I
then,
think it
like,
was really
and I didn't even watch Halo because I was listening to you guys about how it was like.
First episode, fantastic. Last episode, but everything else in between is
middle.
garbage. Like,
They had
It
one
just-
other good scene. That was it.
I don't know which one you're
The-
talking
and
about.
you didn't-
You're looking at me.
You
and
didn't
I'm
watch
like,
it. No, you didn't watch it. That's what I was saying. It was when the brutes came down.
Oh
then,
yeah, I
then
didn't
he
see
had
it.
an actual Master Chief moment there, but it was
Yeah.
like everything else was trash.
Because then you said like the way they tried to do the story was kind of dumb too.
Well, he's
Yes.
supposed to be the
They-
Master Chief.
They
It's his
turned
name.
him into the Mandalorian.
No.
That's what that movie actually is. They gave him a girl companion, and it was like, "Oh, protect this one. Take off your helmet. Actually, you should fall in love." Like it was like none of
Chief,
this
though.
is
That's
Master
Chief need love.
Chief.
Well, that's the problem. Like,
Mandalorian, Last of Us.
Last of Us
Yeah.
was good though.
The Last of Us
yeah,
is
the
Last
same
of Us
premise,
good.
right?
It
Take care of
is,
the
but
girl.
that's what the actual game is about, though.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
If they turned
You're
that
right.
into Halo and had him in full body armor running in fighting aliens and stuff, then you're just like, this isn't The Last of Us.
So yeah, because like
Why the
yeah,
hell?
watching because you guys watched The Last of Us, right?
Yeah.
Shot like you should watch it. So
I should.
shot for
It's-
shot
yeah.
from the game to a show is one of the best. Next to Mario or whatever, it's like one of the best adaptations. What?
No,
You don't think
It
Mario
is.
was?
no, you're good.
This is the podcast where you say what you mean.
Yeah, I
and
was
say
gonna
it.
say what you said. You can't just laugh
No,
at that.
I didn't like. Okay, Mario was not a shot for what Mario
If
actually
you
was.
Uh,
There was a lot of
But there's a
Mario
lot of,
isms
but
in
there's
it.
a lot of paying attention to detail, like
Yeah.
because I saw it 3 times, so every time I saw something different, like
No,
something
no.
as little as when he was turning corners in the cart. How they, how you do that in the game when you're like drifting, then your
the
wheel will
second
turn
one.
blue, and then you get an extra boost, like stuff
Oh,
like that,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
the stuff that they took from it.
You're confusing shot for fan service, and those are two different things because it wasn't really that. But I'm not saying Mario was
I was
bad in
gonna say,
any
I see
way,
what
shape,
you
or form.
mean.
Yeah, I don't want
words
you to
over
say-
here.
No. I don't want
I
it
get
to
what he
sound
means.
like that.
So,
but the shot for
the
shot
last,
from
the last of Us
Yeah.
was the best shot for shot.
yeah.
I still think Mario was a great adaptation because
Yeah,
we haven't
'cause-
had any adaptation.
I was gonna say because you know what actually did shot for shot better than Last of Us is Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah,
They do a lot of shot for shot in there.
No.
Oh, garbage movie.
No.
Exactly.
No.
Like it's not you just
No.
because you do that doesn't mean it's gonna be good.
No, but that's like
Um,
shot for shot is like to me is like The Last of Us. They did as far as like every scene because I played the game like a million times, but every scene, even the dialogue was down to it. So yeah, even if it's shot for shot in Avatar, they changed the dialogue. So like,
Oh yeah,
so like shot
But-
for shot for me is like even the dialogue was.
they did a good job. One of the scenes that they did a good job for. I don't want to say good job.
I know you saw me waiting.
Look,
I was over here licking chops, like-
they did a shot for shot remake is the whole Blue Spirit scene
Yeah.
where Aang gets captured and like they fight out. If you I've actually seen a couple of comparisons where they line that up and it's like, yeah, it's exactly how it was in the show. Does not translate well
But
at
it's a
all.
crap version.
Yeah, exactly. So Last of Us does a really good job of that because they do stay true to the characters and how they would react and act in their scenes or whatnot. So they do a good job, but I don't know, like you can mess it up, and even if they did that with like Samus and Metroid and everything, I still don't think they're going to do a good job with it.
So
'Cause-
that's one I don't think they could do a good shot for shot for because there's no dialogue, because you're watching it from the point of view of a video game. You're more involved. If you watch it just as a movie, then you're just going to be watching somebody run through the caves and stuff like that. I don't think it would actually be a good production overall.
I don't know, man. Like
They have to change stuff and add stuff in, and that's what worries me about them doing it. 'Cause I don't think they would change and add in what we would want to
yeah,
see.
what you need to do in order to do it. Because again, they would make it more about the person who plays Samus.
Yeah.
They would need to do like I know you guys have seen Goblin Slayer, where the guy
Yeah.
he just wears a helmet the whole time, so he could literally be anyone. Does it? I mean. Without giving away too much, like he could literally be anyone, but he's got a lot of dialogue that's just like, oh, he's thinking about is slaying goblins. So if they did that with Samus and like, oh, she needs to save the Metroid, she needs to get rid of the alien viruses, she needs to do that. I was like, okay, they can do that really well, but nope, they're gonna go out
That's
there and
not
be
what they're
like,
gonna do.
yeah, it's like
We're
I'm
still
stronger
talking
than
about a
everyone.
hypothetical movie, right?
Oh yeah, there's no.
It hasn't happened.
Yeah, there is no Samus
It's-
movie or Metroid movie.
It's one of those I've seen
Maybe
the kind of
time.
movie that they make for 30 years now, and I know they're not going to do it.
Yeah. They really need
That's
to get those
true.
independent people out there making these movies, these billion-dollar movies, because they'll do it right.
Well, sorry, but since Mario just made that movie, and Jack Black, of course, is making it a hit
Mhm.
again, I imagine. Then that should open up a way for all these other Nintendo games to kind of
For them to
Okay.
kind of copy, and
yeah,
like they give them the formula, which I feel like is a great thing.
Yeah.
You gotta have fans or have the actual creator as a part
Yeah.
of the whole production thing, because like you said, the people that made The Last of Us, were the people that made the game The Last of Us. So they knew exactly which emotions they're going for. They knew when they can throw in the bad jokes, when it was serious, and they didn't turn it into a joke like they did pick an anime adaptation.
Yeah, I was gonna say any Marvel movie.
Well, I also like the fact that, like in The Last of Us 2, you can see going back to character development, like the relationship between Joel and Ellie, like from episode 1 is totally different by the end of the season. Like you can see that whole we're standoffish to I care about this person.
This is my daughter.
Mm-hmm. And then also like the little things they did too, as far as like all of the like the voice actors and stuff like that were in the game. They might not have played that character, but they were in the show. Same thing with the voice actors that did like the clickers, noises, and all that. It's the same people from the game. They brought them in for the show as well. Well, the only person that played in it that played the same character was Marlene, which I thought was pretty cool.
The lady that died via the kiss. Is that what
Via the kiss.
Kiss of death.
So
they had other actors and stuff in there, but they weren't playing their same parts except for Marlene.
Yeah.
Which I thought that was I don't know what
It's a cool show.
I don't know what they're maybe that's what they were going for, because in the game the way she dies like was much better. Like they blew her up or something like that. She blew herself up.
It's okay. There's a Bill episode too that we just skip.
I mean, considering people copy other successes, and considering that Mario made like all the money, hopefully Hollywood will take note and be like, okay, if we want to do this, we got to follow like talk about formulas, have theirs, and bring the creators in rather than having someone like Kathleen Kennedy run Lucasfilm and then like, oh, look what she did.
Well, yeah, because they didn't especially with Mario, they didn't even care what because all the critics were saying all that bad stuff.
It's like,
well, again, the critics were stupid because, well, I shouldn't say that, but the critics were the critics were dumb because they're not gamers. Like
they're not. Yeah,
you watch a thing that has survived for what's Mario been out
like
40 years, and it's like, okay, cool. So you have some backlog there that you should be aware of, and if you go to watch the movie, it's like, oh, you need to keep that in mind, and then watch the movie. It's like, oh, that was actually pretty good.
Yeah, it was fun.
But they were like, no, we're gonna just base this off of exactly what we see. We don't care about anything else. And then they watch it and they're like, this is stupid. They didn't have this character in it. They didn't have this, save the cat moment. They didn't do that. You're like, okay, you watch movies wrong.
Yeah, right.
Like, come on, it's a franchise.
Yeah.
Because one thing, just a little minor note, I love how they actually, instead of like making up an excuse, they just say like, in the Mushroom Kingdom, this is how it is. They have these blocks, and then if you hit it, something bad. Like I just haven't explained that.
That's just how it is.
There was zero explanation. There was like, this is our magic system, and just deal with it. Roll with it. Keep going.
It's almost like the premise, like we already know this.
I don't know where these flowers and stars and tanuki suits and cat suits come from, but use them.
I also thought that was cool, like the setup for sequels without going into depth. Like when they were traveling, they just showed, oh, this is what is in our world, but they didn't go into depth on it.
Yeah,
you don't need
opens
to.
up for everything else.
Yeah, the whole Yoshi's Island.
We'll come back.
Keep going. Yeah,
because Mario.
That's an ice place. That's dope.
Mario, like me and Anthony were talking about earlier, Mario actually has like new villains. He has new worlds to explore, new characters. And you can have Peach, you can have the Koopa Kids, you can have Wario.
Yeah, he's got a ton of stuff.
Yeah. So like,
I want them to bring the Koopa Kids in so that Bowser can explain that.
Yeah. So who's their mom? Yes, and then walk off.
He's like soon to be Peach.
Like, who's that guy? He's not important.
He hit a block, an egg came out. He has kids. Let's move on. Okay,
run along, kids.
Yeah.
A lot of people got the name Bowser.
So that's the reason I wanted to marry you. They need a stepmom.
Yeah, they need a good stepmom who runs a kingdom.
I'm a huge Sonic fan. I thought the Sonic 2, Sonic 1 was a fun road movie with few references, but Sonic 2 I thought was like perfect because I love Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I think that's one of the best video games ever. That's just me. And I thought they did it so well. I thought, oh man, this is like the benchmark how you do it. Now after seeing Mario, I gotta be like, okay, maybe that's how you do it now.
Actually, you didn't see Sonic 2.
See, they should have.
What?
Yeah, I think it's on Hulu.
You guys gotta watch it.
I watched it. I saw it.
Not seen it.
But like, I don't know. I think their whole thing, they shouldn't have made it a hybrid movie. They should have just kept it. Because even in the beginning of the first song, when they showed him in his world or whatever, they should have kept it like that because that was perfect.
Now that I think about it, I think
should.
he should have been there, and
Yeah, because when you bring, I don't know. I don't know if they were scared or what. Because, like, you guys seen the first one or
Might be
whatever, right?
cheap.
They could have just kept that world and let that be it.
Yeah, because it was all
Yeah.
CGI basically.
cheaper.
Yeah, that could be why they did it. Well, no, because again, Mario was all CGI too. So even if it was more expensive,
That's
they
they
could have.
made way more than what it probably took to put it
Yeah.
into it.
What was
Yeah.
the budget of Mario?
I mean, I thought that.
Yeah.
Probably
It's
that's
not a
a
question
Google
that I
question.
consider when I'm watching my movies and stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, imagine making live action cheaper with a CG character would probably be cheaper than like the render time for
Yeah.
a whole anime.
Yeah, for
So
the whole
the,
thing.
That's
the
just
budget
computers.
for Mario was $100 million.
Jeez, yeah.
and he made $1 billion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's good return of
with a
investment.
B. Yeah,
90 to 110 million.
Yeah, see?
So it's
So,
about the same.
About the same, yeah.
yeah. See.
Just make a movie that we like.
Right.
That's
Like,
it. That's all I
again,
have.
all I want to do is when I go to a movie theater, I want to be entertained with a good story, with some good characters, a couple bad characters that could work. I actually did, unfortunately, really enjoy Fast X. Like
Well-
that was a terrible story, but the character, the Jason Momoa character, was so well done. It was like, I hate that I like this so much.
Still the show.
Yeah, he's
It was
actually
so good.
he was, yeah, he
About
was,
his character.
well, he was funny, but he was also, like, villainous. Like, he did some bad shit in that movie, without spoiling too much. But, like, yeah, he basically kidnaps kids, he blows up buildings and all this
So you
stuff.
basically liked how cool he was killing.
Well, and then he does stuff with a smile on his face, and then even when he's interacting with the other characters, he himself doesn't break character, and you can kind of see, like, Vin Diesel is trying to be, like, the serious moment or whatever, and his whole shtick is, like, he's trying to make him laugh, and also, I'm gonna torture you, too, so he's got that Joker kind of feel to him.
Yeah.
Like, they do a good
Okay.
job with him. Like, again, I was actually rooting for him to win this whole time. He was a good bad guy. They don't do that anymore in a lot of these movies. Like
That would
they,
be interesting if they like flipped it and made the villain become the person that ends up winning at the end of the movie,
That'd be
and
cool.
everyone's all like
No,
sitting there like
they need to do that
jaws.
so
see
much.
again that I talk about it all the time. They need
Yeah.
villain movies.
Yes.
Well,
The-
they
real
tried one
villain.
with
They need-
that
yeah.
kid, the Superman kid that was like.
I like that movie.
You like that
Brightburn.
Brightburn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I like
It was
that
alright.
movie. No, I thought it was-
didn't hate it, but
It would have been great if, especially in the world that we live in now, like if it was building to the negative Justice League or the villain Justice Society, whatever it is, if it was building to
Flashpoint.
that, yeah, and then like in the Flashpoint movie, it's like, oh, now they got to fight evil Superman. That could have been actually really good. Unfortunately, like all villain movies should be horror movies, like hands down. But unfortunately, that's not what they were aiming for. And I think even at the end of that movie, they were hinting at like Aquaman, Wonder Woman, all them being like evil as well. So it was a really good movie, but they didn't have plans for it. Like nobody picked it up, nobody wanted to do anything with it, and it just kind of fizzled
Was
out.
it
and
a
died.
self-contained movie? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
didn't
oh
even
yeah,
land on
yeah,
the
by
fingers
itself.
or
It
nothing?
wasn't actually meant to be anything more. I
Yeah.
mean, if it made $1 billion, they probably would have, but it didn't. So it's like,
Of course,
fine,
it's all
whatever.
about money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
they're not gonna do a sequel to a movie that bombs.
Yeah, but I mean, they definitely
They
could have
did
made
it
it
with
a little
Hulk.
bit better. Yep, they did it with apparently Captain
First one.
Marvel.
I don't know
Oh,
why
I guess
everyone
they
hates
didn't
the
bomb
first Hulk, but I
It just-
enjoyed
it
the
just didn't-
psychology that was going on.
Yeah, it
Wait,
just
for
didn't
what?
make money.
Hulk.
The
Or
first
Banner.
Hulk. So apparently it was a flop.
The first one?
The very
The
first
first
one. You're talking
was-
about the
Eric
Ang
Bana.
Lee
'Cause
one.
it-
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Angling one was shitty.
Yeah.
Right, they had to bring
He
it.
did
The second
Crouching
one was
Tiger-
good.
Yeah, he did Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. You're gonna bring him in and do a Hulk. It's like,
Look, he could have done well. He didn't,
no.
but he
He
could
would've
have.
been-
but that's another thing that you look at. Look at the track record of films that people. That's why a lot of these films are filmed too. Because I mean, I know it's not all on the director, but they'll just put random directors in it to make
Yeah,
movies.
no, it's not even that. Like he had a questionable track record. If he had made the exact same Hulk movie but kept it true to the characters of the story, it could have worked.
But he did.
But
the
he
same
did
thing.
not.
So remember how like in Crouching Tiger, how he did like the whole parallel between characters, and then this. Yeah, he
Mhm.
tried to put that in the Hulk movie.
Yeah,
when
that's
it's
what I
like,
mean.
no,
Like it
right.
didn't do good.
It's
not
a different movie.
Yeah.
But you know what? In a way, he did break down. I mean, he was kind of forced to learn he was this monster, and by forcing himself to learn his dad put him in this position, he's now like doesn't really know who he is anymore, and he's like he's
Yeah, but, like,
relearning who he is.
Again,
Yeah.
that's him trying to do a whole Crouching Tiger thing. None of that had to do with the comics at all.
I didn't know that. I was
Comic
like,
books
"Oh,
point
that's
blank.
awesome."
He went to go save a kid. He got hit with the radioactive wave or whatever and became the Hulk. It had nothing to do with his dad or anything like that. So I was like, what the fuck are you talking
Was
about,
never
bro?
in a facility.
No, like no.
Really?
No. Like he
That's
was in the
loud.
facility.
Wait,
all that
wasn't
stuff.
Bruce Banner? He was a scientist.
Yeah,
though,
and all that
like-
stuff happened, but he didn't do it like that whole his dad put him. Yeah, that was bullshit. That
Yeah.
he came up with.
Yeah.
Also, but it wasn't in a science lab that he got zapped.
Yeah,
but it
like
wasn't
he
Yeah.
was in the wrong place, wrong time,
Gotcha.
but
I see.
nothing to do with his dad. That was,
I
an
was like,
angry
so was
thing.
you Skater and Messi?
He had like ties.
I think
He was
Ang
gay.
Lee just
He
has
was
his
gay.
father issues and he threw it into the movie.
No.
That's a
Well-
kind of good way to.
Daddy
We'll look
issues
at
are
movies.
serious. Leave him alone.
Who's the director? You might know how
His
the movie
DJ's
will turn out.
PSA. He misses you, Dad.
I didn't call you more.
He's in
The more you know.
That's part of his character development.
Yeah.
Because no one was half the battle.
I'm working on it.
Well, he's directing his son in the Bruce Lee biopic, so we'll see how
I
that
saw
goes.
that, yeah.
Uh,
I don't think we need another Bruce Lee biopic.
No. It's kind of like, why?
Because he's a great man.
He is. But,
What you mean, why?
well, sure, I guess not.
What one?
Because sometimes what will happen in the case of Ang Lee, like a director will like make a hit movie, and then he'll be in demand and be like, "Oh, well, here's all these offers," and I guess he decided like he liked the psychological aspect of the Hulk, so that's why he did it, and then he put his own spin.
At that time, I feel like Stan Lee was coherent enough to be like, no. Because it was, yeah. Because the second one was good. It's just hard to do a Hulk story. And that's what they're saying the issue. That's why they, in the later movies with Ragnarok and all that, they were putting his storyline
in the others.
and other people's storyline because they said it was hard to do just a him movie.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. Like, I still want my World War Hulk movie.
Yeah, you're not gonna get that. Not a good one anyway. Because
I'm sure
not only
Ricky
did they already
agrees.
kind of do it, but then they brought in his son already.
That's why I want to see what they're gonna go because there's a lot of background story for that.
Sure.
They opened up a lot
Here's
of stuff.
here's the problem. They introduced that in She-Hulk. So you know it's going to be bad. That's right. I finished She-Hulk just to talk crap
We
about
can't
it.
get a Scar movie. I still
Better
like
not. No, you.
I
What do you remember from She-Hulk?
He's like, you said what?
What do you remember from She-Hulk?
Like from point A to point B? Like
No, I mean not the actual comic. I mean this show, the one that came out.
I remember the whole Daredevil aspect to bring him in. I remember her
It was awful.
kind of found through conflict because she wanted people to love her for being Jen and not being She-Hulk.
Right, and that's why she spent so much time in the She-Hulk form
Right.
and was doing the.
Your question
media
was
from
what
it.
do I remember from She-Hulk?
Yeah, but I'm telling you, what you remember is all the terrible aspects from it. There was nothing good about that. It wasn't like, oh man, I can't wait to see what happens next with Jen.
But
Nothing happens.
For those of you who don't know, DJ,
This
if
is
it's
the
not
huge-
what he thinks, it means nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm right.
But is that also another show that's trying to adapt to a comic or?
No, it was like because so everybody remembers Deadpool for breaking the fourth wall or whatever, but she hulked it numerous times in her comic too. She breaks the fourth wall, and that was kind of what the last episode was of her breaking the fourth wall and going to basically Disney Plus and then talking to them and this and that to come back to her show, and then that's how they ended it.
See, it's not
That's what I remember from
the,
She-Hulk.
the breaking the fourth wall isn't the problem. The problem is, like, thematically, all you need to know from She-Hulk is exactly what happens in the last episode. Because nothing else is relevant. The only thing that happens is that she walks out to the producer and is like, hey, I should be the hero of this story. I should have a boyfriend. I should also make sure that the bad guys go away. Like, none of everything else that happens does not matter. And that's what I hate about that show. Like,
Yeah,
it doesn't, like, you could do, I mean, Deadpool did it very well. He breaks the fourth wall. He absolutely does. But all the stuff that happens to him in his movie actually makes him a better character from start to finish. She-Hulk, it does not. like it's bad. That's.
So
I liked it.
I guess you can like garbage if you want.
I like the first Hulk, so can say all you want to say about that.
See, and I will bash it,
Tiger
but if
Dragon
you liked it, you liked
director,
it.
but
No,
I
you
like
can
the
like,
Dragon
look.
one.
You can like what you want if that's what you want to hear me say. I'm going to tell you this is why it doesn't make money. It's not good, and I don't want to see them take the lessons they learned from She-Hulk and put that in their Samus movie. I'm not going to watch it.
Back to the Samus movie.
Like whatever, Zelda,
out.
Samus, whatever you're
We
gonna
just need
watch.
to give DJ a bunch of money and go find people that can write this script for him.
DJ,
Hey, we got a director.
I was like DJ agrees
Right.
with this.
Start writing.
Vincent does not.
All right.
If anything, like Illumination and Nintendo should like just get together and be like, hey, all right, here's your Nintendo extended universe. Here, we'll write it out for you. All I gotta do is animate it.
Yeah.
We'll do the rest.
Yes, if they do that, then I'm okay with it as long as Nintendo is writing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if they're like, oh, we're gonna go give this to James Gunn and have him
James
write
Gunn
it,
or
You know,
Kathleen
like,
Kennedy.
I'm not excited about anything.
I thought that was good that they brought him in, like as the creator and all that.
Mhm.
Because I think that makes the backbone of the movie too. They weren't able to change it because, like, I'm pretty sure if it was just Illumination, we would have had minions in the movie.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Like,
That's all I did.
you need to have that creative mind behind it.
See, I remember like they announced the Mario movie like years ago, but then it's like they just made like Despicable Me 3, 4, 5, and then it's like okay, whatever, and it's like oh, we're finally making it. Oh wow, that's cool.
And it was just because they were like, oh, people like that one. And then they bought the toys. We can make money off of this. And it's like, it wasn't for the quality of the movies because they're not good movies.
No, I don't
Right.
get the appeal. These little
The appeal is children and women laugh at it and think they're cute.
Well,
I
my whole
guess.
thing is I was laughing how they were saying that they wanted the original Mario voice actor to do it or whatever.
Oh yeah,
And
No,
they made
no.
a big deal because Chris Pratt was doing the voice. I was like, you do realize that the first movie was Bob Hoskins, right?
yeah.
And
Dude, I didn't-
John Leguizamo. So neither one of
rest
them
in
are
peace,
Italian.
Bob Hoskins.
Yeah, but he's a good actor. And then John Leguizamo was like, I'm gonna boycott it because there's like no non-ethnic people in it. And I'm like,
Well,
whatever,
because he
dude.
said there's no non-ethnic
No.
because he looks at skin and sees just white, but the chick that does the voice of Peach is like Argentinian.
Yeah,
So
there
it's
you go.
like and then
Argentinian?
yeah,
Argentinian.
Argentinian. She's from Argentina, so and then,
Argentina.
And then what? Michael Key, like he's
Right.
black, so it's like,
He's
what do you
totally-
want?
And now he's all like, well, I might do the sequel if it's like, dude, no, it's
No,
not
that's.
you.
And again, this is going to the conversation that we had earlier. Just get the best person for the
Yeah.
job.
Yeah, exactly.
And I say, I don't care if it's an Amazonian woman playing a tiny mouse, whatever. If she plays a good mouse, cast her.
Exactly.
Stop going out of your way to find these exotic
I
extras.
saw John Majors.
Majors.
Jonathan
Majors?
Jonathan
Jonathan
Majors.
Majors?
Never remember his
He
name.
was
Yeah.
like, sorry. He was
That's like the
in
fifth
several
different
movies
name
back
I've
to
heard you
back.
call it.
Because I don't know, I feel like his name's easy to remember, but then I just forget for some reason.
What were
What's
you
his
saying
name?
about
Jonathan Majors. He made several movies. He was in several movies back to back.
Yeah.
One, he was that villain
King.
Kang.
in Dream or whatever
I don't know now. I thought you were gonna say King the Conqueror from Ant-Man. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, okay.
No, no. It's from Dream. I think it's called Dream, but it's the Sandman character. Maybe it's called Sandman. but
Oh,
the recent one that
yeah.
came out.
Oh, the
And
miniseries. Yeah.
He's
yeah, the series.
He's in there at the end. He's like I don't know. He's like the all-time guy. He's like, Anyway, after I saw that, then I saw another movie he was in. I was like, wow, this guy is really heating up. I think it was like a Django kind of style movie.
He was in this one called Devotion. That was pretty
Oh,
good.
the one, the buck stops here.
I
The harder they fall.
absolutely hate that that's exactly what you said.
And you knew what I was
That
talking
was
about.
so mean of you.
Yeah,
You ruined that movie. I really like
was,
that movie.
The Harder
but
They
you
Fall.
ruined that
Definitely.
movie.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was
that was a good movie. I made it so
I
much better
hate
with my
you
commentary.
so much.
I had nothing against anybody in the movie. It was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, because he shoots him at the very end, right? Spoiler alert.
Spoiler
He
alert.
shoots him at the very end. And this dude over here sitting next to me, and as he's dying, like this huge emotional scene, he just found out he's his brother. And I was like, oh man, that really hit hard and it was kind of impactful. This dude's like laughing, like, the buck stops here. And I was like, you son of a
his
bitch. Why would you
name
turn
was
it into
Buck.
a joke?
I was like, his name was Buck, and he shot him. I was like,
He was crying as he had to shoot his brother, and you were sitting here like, The buck stops
Oh,
here.
man.
I hate you.
If y'all wanted to know who the real Heartless one was,
Yeah, for real.
You know,
that
you
has good
said
character
that.
development too. That movie, that had one of the best movie
really
moments, and it had really good character development throughout
I
the
am
whole movie.
so all about villain entrances. The way you introduce your villain is so important to how sympathetic, villainous, whatever you want to do with your that character. And Harder They Fall
That
had
was
a
one of the best ones too.
which one? What did you say?
Heath Ledger's Joker.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely. They do freaking workshops on how well they did on that. But I actually think Harder They Fall did a really good job too, just because of the fact that like not only did he have these devoted followers that like ran through the train just to like get to him or whatever, even when he literally comes out of his like his prison or whatever. It was like nobody talked, nobody made any jokes, they were just like, oh, he's back, and he just walks out, and it's like Idris Elba. Unfortunately for him, he's more comedic to me. With a couple of things that I've seen him in, but don't get me wrong, he's still a really like intimidating kind of character, and he did a really good job like walking out of that and then looking over at his his girlfriend or whatever, and then like hugging her, and then seeing his homie and was like, oh, we're here, and then like evaluating the situation and then taking control immediately. Fantastic opening. I love everything about that.
Yeah, so we nicknamed those the Musin moments.
Yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
That one, the Heath Ledger's Joker, was another one where it's like as soon as he comes in, it's like you can tell the whole movie does a 180 to him, and it's just like you're enthralled by his performance. You're like, oh my god,
this person took control after they're introduced. And for Heath Ledger, it was at the very beginning of the movie. Like you just know, like he's
The bank
He's
scene?
the guy.
No, you don't.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely no. It is the bank scene. Well, because the other great thing about that moment is that there's a really good reveal at the end because you don't know it's Joker until the very end. But you see him manipulate everybody throughout it, and because of that, it's like, shit, he's that level. That means he's gonna get nothing but better throughout while this movie goes on. Like,
and that's why I feel like
Hands down.
like Dark Knight Rises. He tried to replicate the same thing he did in Dark Knight. Because if you look at that first scene in the plane with Bane, he tried to kind of do the same exact thing that he did with the Joker, but it didn't hit the same.
Yeah, he did a good job. He didn't do a great job.
So you know how like when he's talking and this and that, and then all of a sudden that's when Bane starts talking or whatever, and then they reveal him.
Yeah.
But it's like, as a person that's seen Dark Knight, it's like, well, we've seen this before.
Yeah.
Thanos does a really good job for it too.
Yep.
The first time they show him.
Yeah.
Because it's like Thor and Loki have basically lost, and then Thanos just comes out, and you're like, dang, he's not even using his powers. He's just boxing the whole
It was
like,
such a terrible.
yeah.
It made me cry almost. Like,
It was like it was.
and then they made
such a
Ragnarok
beatdown.
and made Hulk like not the way he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had
Planet.
mental and emotional scars on him
Yeah.
from that loss.
Anyway, continue what you were saying, but yeah. Thanos was
but yeah, the whole way he did it, the way that he talks and everything is just amazing. And then the fact that he starts fighting them and around all the minions, and the minions are about to jump up, and like, wait, let him have his fun. And it was just like, oh my god, he's a problem.
Yeah.
And for me, that was the worst too, because we were shotgunning ideas about it. This was back when it first came out. Of like, okay, so who could actually take out Thanos that we've seen and we talked about? And the only answer we had was Hulk.
Yeah, I definitely remember that conversation. We literally were like, oh, the whole end of this movie is going to be the Hulk coming down and basically boxing
he has to come
Thanos.
back and box
he's going to
Thanos.
take him out. And I was like, that's how this movie is going to end because, well, again, we also thought he wasn't even going to get all the Infinity Stones.
We thought he was only going to get
we
like 2 or 3
totally
of them.
misread all of Avengers when that came out.
So,
But is that how it happened in the comics and stuff?
No,
but
So
It's
I mean,
just-
no. So in the comics,
it's a
lot-
totally
it's a
different
whole
story.
different
Yeah,
Like, the
it
whole
has
thing
nothing
is
to do with
going-
that.
Like, if they were doing like the comics, like we would have seen Adam Warlock a long time ago.
Yeah, we also would have met
Oh,
Death
interesting.
too because the whole reason he's doing it is because
He's trying to
impress
No
Death.
bitches always got to be involved. That was literally the only because she wouldn't recognize him. So you got the gauntlet and all that. to try to be recognized by her or whatever, because he was in love with her.
He's gonna kill half the universe as a gift to her
with a snap of his fingers. Like,
It didn't work.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Doesn't Deadpool end up fucking her or something?
Pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I think it's something like that.
Like
Comics are weird, man.
Yeah, they
I
get
think
really
it's
out
funny as
there.
hell.
Well, because the whole reason Deadpool can't die is because Thanos cursed Deadpool to not die so that he can't be with Death. Because Thanos wants to be with her. Yeah, it's way different
wild,
than
yeah,
what
it's
you
wild.
got here.
That's a
So.
slap in my fat face.
Well, that's why I'm
Crap. I know you said fact face, but I'm gonna go with fat face in my head. Whammo.
Well, that's why I'm excited about, like, because they said what the fifth
You're
or
welcome.
sixth Avengers movie is supposed to be Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Because Secret Wars is that's originally where Spider-Man got his symbiote suit. So I want to see where they go with that. Because they were fighting on this planet, and that's where all that happened. But
I thought
That's dope.
I thought that he made it his Iron Man.
the suit?
Yeah,
No,
Spider-Man
the
suit.
symbiote
the
suit. The
symbiote
Venom
suit.
suit.
Then-
Oh,
yeah.
God, yeah.
The symbiote.
That happened in the Secret Wars.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's what I
you
want
better square up. I will
Sorry.
never want to hear
Yeah,
you
that's
say
all I want
that.
to see how they go, like, with that. So I'm excited about
Yeah,
that. But
that
we'll
sounds
see.
sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
So the one thing I will give Marvel is the fact that they is the fact that they're doing original stories with they're not keeping it straight to the comic book, but again they care about the stories they're trying to tell, at least originally,
Yeah.
not so much in Phase 5 here, but
The concepts are still
yeah, they're basing it off of the characters, but they're putting them in different situations, different stories, and that's fine.
There's a character I wanted to talk about in One Piece. And if Marco was here, he'd probably make sure I didn't say anything wrong. But Usopp changes a lot.
Oh yeah.
He starts off kind of like this guy. He just wants to impress this girl in this very rich, impressive-looking house, but I guess she can't leave. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and he's
Like-
kind of a coward too. He's a
very
coward
much a
/ sniper.
but he's also trying to appear like he's a bigger man. He's talking about becoming a captain.
Oh,
So he looks like he's trying to become this person to impress her, but he's still a weakling and he's very scared. So you see him throughout the show. There's so many episodes, but you see him throughout the show getting scared in the moment and running away, or finding a moment to basically dart out of the room. And as the story progresses, he goes through training and he gets stronger. He still has those moments where he gets real scared, but you
But he comes out and does it.
realize that he's got that whole team on him.
Unfortunately, I have not seen all of One Piece. Way too long. But I did see those introductory episodes with him, and I can kind of see where they're going with that. Because, yeah, he definitely does everything he can to, if there's fight and flight response, he's a flight first. But the second he knows people are in trouble, he's going to fight. The first thing he does, I think, is tries to save those kids. And by sending them away, and he's like, well, not only does he have to send them away, he's like, now I have to stand and fight to buy them time. You know what I mean? So, he's going to sit there and do it. And that's not, at least when you first meet him, that's not in his character. It's like, nope, he's going to run away and be like, good luck, guys, and then take off. But, no, he
repeats that often. So I think if a lot of movies do that, you can kind of tell, like Apocalyptica, when he gets kind of thrown into that whole, he lost his son. His son and his wife was trapped in the pit, and he was taken off as a slave. He had to basically change himself from becoming a hunter to running away and becoming almost part of the jungle, finding a way to just hide it. And it's such a crazy moment because
wait, what is this?
Apocalyptica.
Is that a show or?
Yeah, it's a movie with Mel Gibson.
Apocalypto.
Oh, I need to.
Did I say Apocalyptica?
Yeah, I was like, what is
I was
it?
like, that sounds really cool. I have not seen it.
What is
I was like,
Nah,
shit,
Is
wait.
it a Crunchyroll?
Yeah, can I just... I need to watch this.
Apocalypto.
Well, I guess I know what I'm doing after this.
That kind of character development, like you're talking about with Esau, I was like, that's what makes people fall in love with the characters and stuff. So it's like by the time you get to the end of that journey and everything, that's when it's like every time he's on screen, it's like tears. You're like, oh my god, he's fighting back.
Exactly, and he's even fighting back his own tears,
right?
Because he's like so scared in the moment. He's fighting every instinct for him to run away.
How far are you in One Piece?
I'm caught up.
I was like,
you watched all of it. Yeah,
he's done.
Jesus,
I'm waiting for the next episode to come out. They're
You
slowing
know what's
down.
just messed up about that? Sorry, this is
time
nothing
we
to do with the
give you-
podcast. But you were going through school when you caught up, saying you didn't have time to.
That's
like,
what I was going about.
I was like, wait a second. But here I am.
Should we wrap this up?
Yeah, sorry, yeah, okay, yeah. This is gonna be a roast Andrew after
Wow, we're at the end, huh?
podcast.
The next time anybody, for any reason, asks you to come, you better get your
Yeah,
ass
you
up.
can be like, oh, I was
That's
gonna watch
1,000
One Piece,
something episodes.
but now I'm here.
We're constantly trying to get you out too. You're like,
Yeah.
is Andrew going? Did you invite Andrew?
I'm gonna study.
Liar, you gotta watch One
Let's
Piece.
not forget, you can watch the show and do homework at the same time.
Not if it's in
I
Japanese.
told them
Yeah.
whenever they said you can't come, I said, and then I actually come out. I was like, I work anywhere between 60 and 70 hours and balance having kids. You can come.
Oh, right, you're throwing me a guilt trip on you. Well,
We miss you.
He's here
Yeah,
now.
this is all in the above. We want to hang out more.
He's here now. That's what's important.
hey, I'm here now, right?
Welcome back, Andrew. Congratulations on your master's degree.
Yeah, oh yeah, congrats,
Thank you.
congrats.
Oh, now it's
I,
all.
I think we
Let's make sure
congratulated
Andrew's
you
happy
before.
now.
Yeah.
Don't let him get angry.
That might have been Chris's house, but either way.
I mean, between the two of you, one was buying us that second mic.
I hope soon. I'm reaching for it.
I mean, we technically have another mic. It's just not good.
Fix it.
No, I got that over to you. Anyway,
Oh.
let's wrap it up.
Anyway.
So, moral of the story is, hopefully somebody in Hollywood listens to us, because it seems like they don't listen to anybody that are fans, except for Sonic that one time. Anyway, you guys stay safe out there. Keep listening to us. We're going to try to get back on this where we're doing more. I know everybody has, we all